Hey everybody, I thought I would do another video. This time it is based on a murder that is actually from my favourite show ever, Mindhunter. Season 2 of Mindhunter covered the Atlanta child murders, and it piqued my interest immediately, especially when I found out what happened in the end, which I won't spoil for those that haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen it, watch it. Mindhunter, it's fantastic. So I want to have a look at the child murders and look at the charts. And I have a question: did Wayne Williams kill Atlanta's children? Luckily, I have a time. Now, Wayne Williams was actually arrested on the 22nd of May 1981, and I managed to get a time from a documentary. But moving forward, 28 children were murdered in Georgia between 1979 and 1981. So many children, and over such a quick period of time. It was super scary. Everyone was absolutely panicking, obviously. At that time, unfortunately, there was a heavy presence of the KKK. So initially, the press, the community, and the police believed that it was possibly a KKK clan member or members that did these murders. But then the federal police were involved, got invited in and did a profile, and the profile showed that it was most likely a African American person that was killing these children, which was extremely surprising for everybody to hear. So there was concern that they were trying to pin it on an African American person, and rightly so, because that happens a lot. But as it turned out, Wayne Williams was arrested, and you'll see when I go through the charts how I feel and how I've come to the conclusion that I believe he was responsible for all of the murders of the children. He was only actually charged with 2 murders of 2 adults. So nobody has been held accountable for all of these children. Luckily, this year, in March, the Atlanta police, under the order of the mayor, has decided to reopen the case. Now, Wayne Williams has consistently maintained his innocence throughout this. I don't believe it for a minute. There was some evidence taken. There's fibres, there's DNA. But they are reopening it, so I'm really, really hoping that the new technology that we have now is going to prove that he did, in fact, kill them. Or if I'm wrong, and if everybody's wrong, hopefully the DNA will find out who did kill these children. But going forward, I can't say with my whole heart that I don't believe that this man was responsible for the murders of these children. So this is Wayne Williams. He was 23 when he was arrested. He lived with his mum and dad. He was a self-titled entrepreneur as such. He liked to scout for talent, and the talent that he liked to scout for was young boys. He wanted to find the next Michael Jackson. He had his own radio station. He thought he was a bit of a music producer. I think he was living in a bit of a dream world personally, because he was living at home with mum and dad, and didn't seem to me that he actually had much of a career at all. And there's quite a few people that say he didn't do anything like that. It was just a ruse to get to the boys. So yeah, there's not much more to say about this guy. He's pretty gross. He's definitely a psychopath. I think he's pretty narcissistic. His chart shows that his chart, along with all the event charts, show that he's always in the wrong place at the wrong time. If he didn't do it, then he's one unlucky bugger. Let's put it that way. So when he was caught, they had set up this whole thing here. They got police from everywhere. It cost $1 million, I think, or more than $1 million to catch this guy. I still can't believe that it cost that much, and they haven't actually charged him with the murders, but at least he's in prison. And the murders stopped after he was caught, so there's something important to remember. So at 2:50 a.m., a policeman was down under this bridge and heard a splash in the water. So another policeman that was parked down this end saw a car turn on his headlights. It was a white station wagon, and drive forward. And then the policeman intercepted him and stopped him and said, what are you doing here? And I've got that timed for about 2:58. So luckily we've got timestamps for this. So when he was stopped, so the officer heard a splash, he had his car stopped and then took off. So, obviously they assumed that he's thrown a body over the bridge. They were there because the FBI profile dictated that he would go back to the place where he had previously been disposing of bodies. So he was right there, and he got caught. When they got him out of the car, they said, "Why do you think you have been stopped?" And he said, "Well, it must be something to do with the murders." So straight away he basically incriminated himself. So he was arrested there, or not arrested there. I don't think he was just taken there. Unfortunately, they didn't collect all the evidence from the vehicle. He managed to clean the vehicle. He actually managed to recarpet his house, but they did get some fibres from his house. And some of those fibres matched some fibres that were found on the boys' bodies. So why he didn't get convicted of them, I actually don't know. And I do believe that now that they're going to reopen the case and look into it with the new DNA, they'll find out that the fibres exactly match, and there'll be more evidence than that, and I'm sure they'll be able to eliminate the boys or men that weren't killed by him and the ones that were, because I don't think he actually killed all of these people. So what you'll see next is the astrology side of it, and it is really interesting. So keep listening. Grab a cup of coffee.